Are you one of the many men who enjoys an evening beer to unwind after a long day? What if I told you that this simple habit could be silently affecting your health? Especially as you age, it's a question many men rarely ask themselves. Yet it's crucial to understand the potential consequences that regular beer consumption can have, particularly on your physical and emotional well-being. As the years go by today, we're about to tackle a topic that is deeply personal, one that affects countless men, but is often left unspoken. It's not just about the calories or the immediate effects you might notice after a few drinks. It's about what happens to your body, your hormones, and your vitality over time. Beer is a common part of many social settings, but for older men, the hidden consequences can be serious, impacting everything from heart health to your sense of masculinity. Before we jump into the details, I want you to think about something. How often do you consider the long-term effects of your habits, if you're for anything like most? The small daily rituals may seem harmless at first, but over time they add up. And that's exactly why you need to watch this video to the end to fully understand the science behind it and the steps you can take to reclaim your health. This isn't just about physical health, it's about emotional resilience, mental clarity, and making smarter decisions that protect your energy and confidence. As you age in this video, we're going to explore how beer affects your circulation, how it can lead to hormonal imbalances, and how these changes can manifest in ways you might not even realize until it's too late. But more importantly, I'm going to share real solutions and tips on how to take control of your health and start feeling better. No matter your age, trust me, you'll want to stick around for the entire discussion. It could be the wake-up call that sparks a new chapter in your life. So if you're ready to understand the true cost of that evening beer and what you can do about it, let's dive right in. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I encourage you to click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated on all our latest content. I'm eager to hear your thoughts on today's topic. If you enjoy the content, please comment one below if it doesn't resonate with you. Leave a 0, your feedback is crucial as it helps me create better videos that align with your interests. Now let's get started today. We're about to tackle a topic that is deeply personal, one that affects countless men, yet is rarely discussed in public forums or among friends. It's an issue that many men silently battle, often enduring the consequences without ever speaking up. I'm talking about the profound impact of regular beer consumption on men's health, particularly as they enter their later years. While beer is often viewed as a casual indulgence or a means to unwind, the hidden consequences it may have on your body, especially in old age, are far-reaching and far too serious to ignore. Before we jump into the details, I want to remind you that this space is all about learning and reflection. I want this to be a place where we can have open and honest conversations about our health, our habits, and the way we take care of ourselves as we age. If you find value in what I'm sharing today, please take a moment to show your support. Give this video a like, share it with your friends and family, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel by subscribing in. You're joining a growing community of individuals who are committed to living healthier, more fulfilling lives as we get older. And I don't know about you, but there's something incredibly empowering about knowing we are all in this together, supporting each other through the ups and downs of aging. Now, I want you to sit back, take a deep breath, and listen closely, because the conversation we're about to have could change the way you approach your health. Moving forward, you might even begin to see things in a new light, one that empowers you to make smarter, more informed decisions about how you live. Let's start with something that may seem straightforward but is critical to understand circulation and cardiovascular health. Blood circulation isn't just a biological function. It's the very thing that sustains life. Think of your circulatory system as a network of highways within your body, each blood vessel, connecting every organ in every cell, delivering vital oxygen and nutrients so that everything can operate at its best. Good. Circulation is essential for energy, for vitality, and for that undeniable feeling of well-being. It affects every part of your life, from your ability to play with your grandchildren to your ability to perform in intimate moments with a partner. When circulation falters, when the flow of blood slows or becomes blocked, it doesn't just put your life at risk, it compromises your quality of life. Now here's where beer plays a more sinister role than you might have realised. Beer, in carbohydrates and loaded with empty calories, is a prime contributor to weight gain. What might start as a few drinks here and there can quickly add up, leading to unwanted pounds that burden the body in ways that aren't always immediately noticeable, but over time, those extra pounds place immense strain on your circulatory system. Your heart has to pump harder to push blood through your body, and your arteries, overwhelmed by the excess weight, begin to stiffen. This process, known as arteriosclerosis, causes your arteries to become narrower and less flexible, creating a kind of bottleneck that hinders the flow of blood. Picture this. Your arteries are like garden hoses when they're in good condition. Water or blood flows freely through them, nourishing every cell. But when those hoses become clogged with fat, when the walls of your arteries harden and constrict the water, or blood is no longer able to flow smoothly. The effect is similar inside your body. Over time, restricted blood flow can lead to elevated blood pressure, increased cholesterol levels, and even heart disease. And it doesn't stop there. As your blood flow becomes more restricted, the vital organs and systems that depend on it, including those that support your most intimate and personal functions, begin to suffer as well. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. This is where many men begin to experience emotional frustration. The signs of these changes are not just physical. They also have a deep emotional and psychological toll. When blood circulation isn't what it used to be, men can start to feel defeated, embarrassed, or even ashamed. They may notice that they no longer have the same vitality or stamina, and that can lead to feelings of inadequacy or insecurity. This isn't just about physical health, it's about self-esteem, relationships, and mental well-being. It's about the silent suffering that so many men experience behind closed doors, avoiding situations that might expose their vulnerabilities, feeling ashamed or unwilling to speak up. The emotional cost of neglecting one's health can be far more damaging than the physical symptoms themselves. But here's the even bigger issue that many people are unaware of: the effect of beer on male hormones. Most people don't realize that beer contains phytoestrogens, plant-based compounds that mimic the female hormone estrogen. In small doses, this isn't likely to cause harm. But when beer becomes a regular part of a man's routine, these phytoestrogens can disrupt his hormonal balance. The most obvious casualty of this disruption is testosterone, the hormone responsible for strength, muscle mass, energy, and drive over time. Regular beer consumption can lower testosterone levels, leading to a host of issues beyond the physical. Low testosterone isn't just about feeling tired or gaining weight. It's about losing your sense of masculinity, your confidence, your drive, and your ability to perform at your best. Both physically and emotionally, men may begin to feel more fatigued, less motivated, and increasingly disconnected from their bodies and their lives. The sense of power and vitality that once defined them starts to slip away, and they are left wondering why they no longer feel like themselves. This loss of testosterone can also contribute to issues with mood, mental clarity, and overall well-being. The truth is, most men aren't aware of these dangers. Beer is so ingrained in our social fabric, so commonly associated with relaxation and enjoyment, that the long-term effects often fly under the radar. But the reality is clear, regular consumption of beer, especially an older age, can take a heavy toll on a man's health. And while the effects may not be immediately obvious, the cumulative damage over time can be devastating. But there's hope. It's never too late to take control of your health, to make intentional choices that can reverse some of the damage caused by years of neglect. Reducing alcohol intake, focusing on healthy, nutrient-rich foods, and committing to regular physical activity can make a tremendous difference. The body is incredibly resilient. It can heal, regenerate, and find balance again. When given the proper tools, this is your chance to reclaim your vitality, to regain control over your body and your future. It's about more than just avoiding illness or disease. It's about living a life full of energy, confidence, and purpose. So if you've been struggling with your health physically, mentally, or emotionally, know that it's never too late to make changes together. We can live with strength and resilience, embracing each moment and moving forward with the knowledge that we are not just surviving, but thriving. Stay tuned, because in the next part of this discussion, we'll explore even deeper how alcohol affects your aging process and what steps you can take to regain your vitality and restore balance to your life. This journey is just beginning, and it's one that can lead to profound life-changing results. Testosterone is a cornerstone of male vitality. It is the driving force behind so many aspects of physical and emotional well-being. This hormone isn't just about muscle mass or energy levels. Its impact stretches far beyond that, shaping a man's mood, his confidence, and even his ability to feel truly alive. It fuels the vitality that keeps him in touch with the world around him, allowing him to engage fully in relationships, work, and hobbies. Without healthy testosterone levels, the body and mind start to lose their luster. What's more, low testosterone doesn't just affect how a man feels physically. It also alters his emotional landscape. A man may start feeling a loss of energy, a disconnect from his partner, or even a decline in self-esteem, unsure of why he no longer feels the same. The desire to be present, to experience life with the same enthusiasm as before, fades, and the toll this takes on his confidence and sense of self-worth can be devastating when testosterone levels dip. It's easy to blame it on age. It's a convenient explanation, one that society often reinforces. So it's not surprising that many men simply accept it as a part of growing older. This is just how things go. They think it's natural, it's just aging. But what if the drop in testosterone isn't just a result of age? What if lifestyle choices like the regular consumption of alcohol are contributing to the problem? Many men don't make the connection. They believe that habits like drinking a beer at the end of the day, a habit passed down from friends, family, or culture, are harmless. But over time, these small habits can slowly erode their health in profound and surprising ways. And by the time the symptoms are obvious, fatigue, a loss of strength, a decline in intimacy, many men simply accept it as an inevitable part of life, rather than recognizing that it's a series of lifestyle choices that have slowly worn down their health. That's why it's so important to pause and reconsider these habits before they become detrimental to your well-being. You may not even realize how much they are affecting you until it's too late. Let me share a story with you. It's about Don Pedro, a man in my neighborhood who taught me a powerful lesson about health and self-awareness. Don Pedro was beloved by all who knew him. He was the kind of man who lit up a room with his laughter and his spirit. He was the life of every gathering, always quick with a joke and a warm smile. He exuded vitality and energy, and for years, people saw him as the picture of good health. But as the years passed, changes started to appear. It wasn't something anyone could put their finger on. At first, Don Pedro began to withdraw from social events. The cheerful, animated man everyone knew started to become quiet and tired. He complained constantly of fatigue, and Donna Clara, his wife, noticed that something was off in their relationship. The bond they once shared seemed to be thinning. It wasn't just the physical exhaustion he was feeling, it was a subtle emotional toll too. Don Pedro had always enjoyed his beer, and those 2 small glasses he'd sip each evening had turned into a daily ritual, one that his body could no longer handle for a long time. Don Pedro didn't see the connection between his changing health and his drinking habits. Like many men, he didn't think 2 beers a day could to be harmful. It seemed like a harmless pleasure, a way to unwind after a long day. But what he didn't realize was that, over the years, this habit had started to have a serious impact on his body. His weight began to creep up, his cholesterol rose. His arteries, once as clear and strong as garden hoses, began to harden and become clogged with fat. It was his wife, Donna Clara, who first recognized how much things had changed. She was deeply concerned about his health and his mood, so she insisted that they visit a doctor. Don Pedro was initially resistant, but his wife's concern was impossible to ignore when they finally saw the doctor and ran some tests. The diagnosis was clear, and it was nothing short of a wake-up call. Don Pedro had high cholesterol circulation problems, and his hormone levels were completely out of balance. His testosterone levels had plummeted, and the doctor explained that this could largely be attributed to his drinking habits and a lack of physical activity. Hearing this was a shock for Don Pedro. He had never imagined that the very habit he thought of as harmless, the 2 beers a day he enjoyed so much, had been quietly chipping away at his health. One small sip at a time, the realization that his lifestyle choices were directly affecting his vitality. His energy and his ability to engage fully in life was a bitter pill to swallow. But despite the emotional shock of the diagnosis, Don Pedro didn't give up. What I admire about him is that rather than succumbing to despair, he chose to take control of his life. His health had been compromised, but he refused to let that define the rest. Of his years, he made the difficult decision to drastically reduce his alcohol intake and began to incorporate physical activity into his daily routine. At first, it wasn't easy. The change was uncomfortable, and the urge to slip back into old habits was strong. But Don Pedro had a renewed sense of purpose. He knew that his health and his relationships depended on the changes he made, and he was willing to fight for them. Don Pedro's story serves as a powerful reminder that we are not victims of our circumstances. Yes, aging brings its challenges, but it doesn't mean we have to give in to decline. It's our choices, our habits, that define the course of our lives. If we don't pay attention to the small habits, like drinking alcohol regularly, eating poorly, or neglecting exercise, these things can quietly sabotage our health. But it's never too late to make a change. The power to restore our health and vitality is within our reach, and it all starts with a decision to take responsibility for our lives. When I think of Don Pedro, I think of the strength and courage it takes to face the reality of our choices and take action to turn things around. His journey wasn't easy, but it was worth it. And if you find yourself in a similar situation, feeling like your health is slipping away, wondering if it's just a part of aging, remember that you have the power to change. Take a step back, examine your habits, and ask yourself, what small changes can I make today to improve my future? The path to vitality may not always be easy, but it's always worth it. Don Pedro wants a man whose life had been shaped by years of routine and habits that had slowly drained. His vitality found himself at a crossroads. He was at an age where the whispers of time were becoming louder. And yet, instead of succumbing to them, he decided to take action, a decision that would redefine the rest of his days. He began cutting back on alcohol, a comfort he had turned to for far too long, thinking it was the one thing that gave him relief from the pressures of life. But relief, he soon realized, came at a steep price, along with reducing his alcohol intake. Don Pedro started incorporating daily walks into his routine. Each step he took was an act of defiance against the physical and mental stagnation that had crept up on him. His body, once stiff and tired, was slowly awakening, as though it was remembering the strength it had once known. But it wasn't just about physical movement. Don Pedro took a hard look at his diet and, with a quiet determination, began to make healthier choices. It wasn't easy, and it certainly wasn't immediate. At first, it felt like nothing was changing. His body didn't respond overnight, and the energy he longed for didn't come rushing back yet. As the days passed, small shifts began to occur. He felt a little lighter, a little stronger, a little more alive. His confidence, which had been buried under years of poor choices, began to slowly rise to the surface. But perhaps the most significant change wasn't in his body or his mind. It was in the relationship he had with Donna Clara. Donna Clara, the woman who had been by his side through the highs and lows of life, had watched him grow older, watched him struggle, and watched him slowly drift away from the things that once brought him joy. Now she saw him making an effort taking charge of his own health. And in doing so, he was taking charge of their life together. Slowly, they began to reconnect in a way that felt both new and familiar. The energy that had been drained from their relationship over the years was being restored drop by drop with every healthy choice Don Pedro made. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me one day, as we sat together talking about the changes he had been making. He looked at me with a kind of quiet wisdom in his eyes, and in that moment, his words struck me deeply, so deeply, in fact that I've carried with me ever since. He said, "Maria, when I started taking care of myself, I realized it wasn't my age that was taking away my will to live. It was the habits I had ignored for years." Those words were like a revelation, not just for Don Pedro, but for anyone willing to listen. They spoke to a truth that so many of us refuse to acknowledge, that our lives are not shaped by the hands of time alone, but by the small daily choices we make or choose not to make. It's easy to blame our age for our physical decline or emotional fatigue, but Don Pedro's journey showed me that sometimes the most profound changes come not from adding years to our lives, but from taking care of the ones we have. This story is a reminder, a deeply emotional and urgent reminder, that it's never too late to begin anew. It's never too late to take responsibility for your own health, to take charge of your future. Our bodies, fragile and resilient, in equal measure, are more than just vessels. They are temples, sacred and deserving of love, care and respect. But they require more than just occasional attention. They need our dedication, our mindfulness, our active participation in their well-being. And this care requires us to be honest with ourselves about the habits that are slowly wearing us down. Taking care of our health is not about denying ourselves the small joys of life. It's not about completely moving the things we enjoy, like that occasional beer with friends or a rich dessert. It's about moderation, balance. It's about enjoying those pleasures in a way that doesn't harm us. It's about making the decision to strengthen our bodies and minds through habits that promote our long-term well-being, such as eating nutritious food, moving our bodies in ways that feel good, and seeking regular medical checkups that allow us to catch any issues before they become serious problems. It's about creating a life where health and joy are not mutually exclusive, but woven together in a beautiful, balanced tapestry. Now I want you to take a moment and ask yourself, how do you want to live the next years of your life? Do you want to live them with vitality and energy, embracing each day with a sense of purpose, joy, and connection? Do you want to enjoy every moment, surrounded by your loved ones, feeling strong and capable? Or do you want to live them limited by health problems, trapped by issues that could have been prevented, issues that slowly wear away at your quality of life and happiness? The truth is, we don't have control over everything in our lives, but we do have control over the choices we make. Every single day, taking care of your body is not just about avoiding illness, it's about honoring yourself. It's about recognizing that your health is the foundation for everything else in your life. It's about understanding that by taking care of your body, you are also taking care of your mind, your relationships, and your future. Every small decision you make, the food you eat, the steps you take, the way you treat yourself, adds up, and each one has the power to shape the life you will live in the years to come. Remember, it's never too late to start. No matter where you are in your life, you can always make a change. It's never too late to choose health, to choose love, to choose joy. Every small change you make today can have a lasting impact on the tomorrow you will live. Thank you for staying with me until the end. I hope this message has touched you in some way, whether it sparked a thought, inspired a change, or simply reminded you of the importance of caring for yourself. If you found this video helpful or meaningful, please take a moment to give it a like, share it with someone who might need to hear this message, and subscribe to the channel. By doing so, you'll be helping us grow this community, the Sabi of Ages, where we come together to live intentionally, to embrace life with strength and purpose, and to take care of the bodies that carry us through this beautiful, unpredictable journey. As we wrap up today's discussion, I hope you've gained valuable insights into insert topic. What stood out to you the most? I'd love to hear what you've learned so far and how you plan to apply it in your life. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content. Like this, your support means a lot, and we'll keep bringing you valuable tips to live a happier, healthier life. See you in the next video.